My sister told me I was too blue-collar to sit at a table at her wedding, but apparently I wasn't too blue-collar to be her 2 a.m. emergency rescue team. Let's get some background out of the way. I'm a professional caterer and event coordinator. I spent 15 years building my business from a single food truck to a high-end service that handles corporate galas. My sister, Stacy, is what you'd call an aspiring influencer. Everything in her life is about the aesthetic. When Stacy got engaged to a guy from a very wealthy, very old money family, she went into overdrive. She wanted a $1 million wedding on a $100,000 budget. Naturally, she came to me. She asked if I would handle the food and logistics as my wedding gift to her. Now, I love my sister, or I did, so I agreed. I was going to provide a 5-course meal for 200 people at cost. That's a gift worth about $40,000. I spent months sourcing ingredients and hiring extra staff. 2 weeks before the wedding, we had a final planning meeting. My parents were there, Stacy was there, and her mother-in-law-to-be was there. Stacy leaned over and whispered, "Hey, for the seating chart, I'm not putting you at a table." I laughed, thinking it was a joke. I asked, "Where am I sitting then, with the DJ?" She didn't smile. She said, "No, since you'll be working the event, I think it's better if you stay in the kitchen or the staff area. My new in-laws are very sophisticated and, well, you always smell like garlic and charcoal and your hands are calloused. It just doesn't fit the vibe of the reception." I looked at my parents. My dad looked at his shoes. My mom said, "Honey, it's Stacy's day. She just wants everything to look perfect. You understand, right? You're so successful, you don't need the recognition." I realized then that to them, I wasn't a brother or a son. I was a service provider they didn't want to pay for. I didn't scream. I didn't make a scene. I just stood up, took my planning folder, and said, "You're right, Stacy. The vibe is important, and I think my vibe would be much better suited for a solo trip to Italy." I canceled the staff. I canceled the suppliers. Since I had paid the deposits out of my own pocket, I got most of my money back. I used that cash to book a first-class ticket to Tuscany for the exact week of her wedding. Stacy thought I was bluffing. She sent me dozens of texts telling me to stop being a baby and get back to work. I didn't reply. I blocked her and my parents the moment my plane touched down in Florence. The day of the wedding arrived. I was sitting on a terrace overlooking a vineyard, eating actual truffle pasta and drinking wine that cost more than Stacy's shoes. I felt peaceful. Then I made the mistake of unblocking my brother Jake. Jake is the only one in the family who's not a total nightmare. My phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Jake told me the wedding was a disaster of biblical proportions. Stacy had tried to hire a last-minute, influencer-friendly catering company that promised to do the job for exposure. The caterer ghosted her. 2 hours before the ceremony, there was no food, no servers, no one to coordinate the vendors. The mother-in-law was livid. The groom was embarrassed. Guests were literally at the bar eating bags of pretzels. Then came the voice note from my mother. I played it while watching the sunset. "How could you do this? Stacy is locked in the bathroom crying. The groom's family thinks we're trash. You have the connections. Call someone. Tell them to bring food. It doesn't matter what it costs. Just fix it. You're ruining your sister's life." Then Stacy herself called from a burner phone. She was hyperventilating. "I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I said that. Just please call the Italian place downtown. Tell them you're my brother. They'll do a rush order for you. I have nothing to serve my guests." I waited a full minute before typing my reply. "Sorry, Stacy. I'm currently at a table in Italy. The vibe here is incredible. You were right. I really don't fit in at your wedding. Good luck with the pretzels. The wedding ended early. The groom's family refused to pay for the venue since the reception was a shambles. My parents are now out $40,000 in venue fees, and Stacy is facing a possible annulment because the groom says he can't trust her judgment. My parents sent me a long email saying I'm dead to them and that I destroyed the family over a seating chart ego trip. They still don't get it. It wasn't about the seat. It was about being told I wasn't good enough to be seen with them, while simultaneously being the only thing keeping their lives from falling apart. Now I'm back from Italy, and the guilt tripping from extended family has started. They say family is supposed to sacrifice for each other, no matter what. So I have to ask you guys, was I the jerk for letting her wedding fail? Or is it about time my family learned that you can't treat someone like a servant and expect them to act like a brother? What would you have done if you were told you weren't aesthetic enough for your own family? Let me know in the comments. I'm still reading through the 400 angry texts that Stacy sent me, and I might need a reality check.